Your brother and his entire family were murdered. And now your niece is calling you? From the other side? Welcome to Sandy's Timeline. Today we're diving into the supernatural thriller Don't Let Go. Let's get into it. The movie opens up with a homicide detective called Jack Radcliffe. He receives a call from his niece Ashley. Her father, Garrett, Jack's brother, has forgotten to pick her up. Ashley and Jack eat at a diner, and Jack promises to talk to his brother, a former drug dealer on medication for bipolar disorder, about being responsible. The following night, Jack receives a short, garbled call from a frightened Ashley. He races to Ashley's home and finds Garrett, Ashley's mother, and Ashley, as well as the family's dog, all shot dead. The police rule the case a murder-suicide by Garrett. Despite consolation from his partner Bobby, who has been assigned the case, Jack blames himself. He is convinced that his stern talk with Garrett sparked his horrific actions. 2 weeks later, Jack receives a call from Ashley's phone. Assuming it's a prank, he goes to the station to search for her phone, but is told it may have been left at the crime scene. When he arrives at the house, he finds her phone in the bathtub. Suddenly, his phone rings. It's a call from Ashley, even though he's holding her phone in his hand, and it's dead. A few days later, Jack receives another call. When he answers, it's Ashley, speaking to him as if nothing is wrong. To prove to himself that he's not losing his mind, Jack asks her to spray a large red X using the paint from the shed. At first, he doubts himself, but when he steps inside, the red X is there, freshly painted. To confirm his suspicion, he asks Ashley what date it is. She replies, June 28th. Jack checks the newspaper he's holding. It's dated June 29th. That means he's speaking to her the day before the murder. Realizing he's somehow able to communicate with Ashley in the past through her phone, Jack becomes determined to stop the tragedy. Ashley, unaware of her fate, tells him her dad has just pulled over in a white car with someone she doesn't recognize. Jack asks her to check the license plate, but the way the car is parked blocks her view. She remains oblivious to the fact that she's speaking to Jack in the future. Jack chooses not to reveal the disturbing truth. Instead, he hopes that with subtle guidance, he can help her change the course of events. From this moment on, the story unfolds in parallel, cutting between Jack in the present and Ashley in the days leading up to the murder-suicide. While searching through the room, Jack comes across a reference to someone named Georgie. Curious, he goes to the station and asks his captain, Howard, if there have been any investigations involving that name. Howard explains that Georgie is rumored to be a shadowy, possibly mythical drug kingpin who's been linked to several major drug operations over the years. But nothing has ever been proven. Jack becomes convinced that this mysterious Georgie is the true killer. He asks Ashley, still in the past, to look into anything related to Georgie. She eventually discovers an address and decides to bring it to Jack in person. But the Jack from her timeline has no idea about the phone calls or what's really happening. Thinking quickly, he lies to her, claiming that people are watching his house and it's dangerous to meet him. Ashley, confused but trusting, tells him the address while leaving. While investigating, Jack is gravely injured in a drive-by shooting. Bleeding and barely conscious, he manages to drive himself to the station and pleads with his partner, Bobby, to take him to the evidence locker. As he's dying, he receives one final call from Ashley. Struggling to speak, Jack tells her to call the police and report her father for drug possession. He also urges her to contact Bobby if she feels threatened. In Ashley's timeline, confused by Jack's strange behavior and vague instructions, she rides to his place to confront him. But the Jack from her reality has no knowledge of their phone conversations or what's happening. Frustrated and angry, Ashley leaves. When she gets home, still shaken, she finds a suspicious box under her father's bed. Disturbed by what she discovers, she calls 911. That one action shifts the past and creates a ripple effect that alters Jack's reality. But now he realizes that Ashley's murder now had occurred a day earlier. In the alternate timeline, Ashley tracks down the white car she saw the previous night. Her search leads her to a remote warehouse where she witnesses her father being ambushed by a group of men. Alarmed, she calls Jack. Before losing connection, she manages to tell him the address. Ashley spots a black car arrive at the scene and she writes down the license plate of a black car. While she's spying from a distance, another man spots her. Panicked, Ashley flees the scene, running until she slips into a river. In the chaos, she loses her backpack, which contains the note with the number plate. Meanwhile, Jack in the present manages to track down the same warehouse. He finds the white car still parked there, confirming Ashley's tip. But before he can investigate further, he's ambushed and shot. Barely escaping with his life, Jack stumbles out and later receives a call from Ashley. Still shaken, she calls Jack and informs him she's in the diner, the place they usually go to. Realizing that he can no longer keep the truth from Ashley, Jack decides it's time to prove to her that they're communicating across timelines. While she's still at the diner, he calmly asks her to chew a piece of gum and stick it under the table. Confused but curious, Ashley does as he says. Jack then tells her the exact color gum. Still skeptical, Ashley writes a message on a napkin, sticks it with a yellow gum, then hide it under the table. Moments later, in his timeline, Jack retrieves the same napkin and tells her exactly what it is. Jack shares everything. The murder-suicide, the clues he's uncovered, and how her actions in the past are shaping events in his present. He begs her to leave town to survive, and she agrees. Jack meets with Howard and Bobby, who reveal that Georgie is not a person, but a group of crooked cops. Howard and Bobby have been helping Internal Affairs track down this conspiracy within the department. They take Jack to a discreet location to discuss the investigation. Bobby suddenly shoots Howard dead, revealing that he is a member of the Georgie conspiracy. He was tasked with eliminating Garrett after Garrett refused to assist them with a major drug deal. Bobby killed the family and framed Garrett. Meanwhile, in the past, Ashley has called Bobby for a ride home, planning to have him protect her family. However, when they arrive, Bobby shoots Garrett and Ashley's mother dead. Ashley flees using her bike and into a nearby warehouse. In the present, Bobby, assuming that all Jack's evidence must come from an informant, demands to know who Jack's witness is. Jack then receives a call from Ashley, which he answers, holding up the phone for Bobby to hear. He urges Ashley to save herself, which will save him. Bobby prepares to shoot Jack. In the past, Ashley leads the pursuing Bobby to Jack's home. He comes out and sees his blood-covered partner preparing to shoot Ashley. Jack shoots Bobby, erasing the future where Bobby holds Jack at gunpoint. Jack comforts a tearful Ashley. The memories she carries don't belong to one life. They span across two timelines, two versions of fate. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at Sandy's Timeline for more deep dives into thrilling stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next recap.